Good afternoon. This is Kirk Marshland, the principal at Lake Roosevelt Junior Senior High School. And today we're going to be talking about the graduation final plan. This was developed through a process of having a team together, put together consultation with Okanogan County Health Department, as well as following the guidelines set by Governor Inslee, that phased approach to reopening, and the Washington State Department of Health. And then also talking with other schools and trying to figure out what they're doing too. So again, coming back to our overarching plan has to fall within the phase 2 guidelines. So we had a couple different options depending on what phase we were in. If we were still in phase 1, then we would not have been able to do our plan, but thankfully Okanogan County has given us the go-ahead to continue with our plan, which is we can do our plan of having gatherings of no more than 5 people. So we'll kind of talk a little bit more in detail about what that looks like for us. So the phase 2 and how that impacts graduation is Okanogan County Health has signed off on our plan, but we also had to follow this document that was put out by the Washington State Department of Health. So please feel free to go through this document. You'll be able to open up the attachment that comes with this. It's just the PDF version of the slideshow. You can click on that link and you can look through those guidelines that were given to all schools regarding graduation. We kind of took a mixture of a few of these, but all the ones that we kind of took were mainly phase 2. So that's kind of one of our overarching guidelines. I do want to address some of the community concerns about why can't we do a graduation out on a football field with chairs spread out and being able to do something like that. Unfortunately, because of the phase 2 guidelines, as well as the graduation guidance that we've been given through Department of Health and the Okanogan County Health Department, they have told us that we are not able to do that until phase 4. So we are a long ways off from phase 3. And if we got to phase 3, that would be a long ways away from June 13th. And based on some of the survey data that we got, that was not something that people were in favor of. So we did try to meet in the middle and accommodate as much as we can. But unfortunately, due to these guidelines and these restrictions that we're held to, we have to make these decisions in order to follow the guidelines. So our plan is, as we've said, graduation is set for June 13th at 7 p.m. All attendees of the graduation, except individual students, when called, must remain in their vehicles the entire time. That is the most important component of this, is that only the students are allowed to exit their vehicles when they're called. This is in accordance with Washington Department of Health and Okanogan County Health guidelines. To ensure that this is followed, local police and parking lot attendants will ask anyone that does not follow this guideline to get back into their vehicles, or they'll be asked to leave. We understand this is a pretty strict guideline that they have told us we need to make sure that this is enforced. So please help us out with this. We want to make sure our graduates have a nice time and that we can honor them as best we can, celebrate the time. We understand this is not an ideal time. We wish that we could have it a different way. However, with all the restrictions that have been given to us and other organizations, other schools, it's just simply not possible for us to do it any other way. We looked at a few different options, and this is the best one that brings the best of both worlds. So we understand that this doesn't make everybody happy, and we understand that, and we wish it would make everybody happy, but unfortunately, it's difficult. And that kind of leads into the 2 vehicle pass per graduate. Again, we understand this is not ideal, but according to the guidelines, it's just their graduate along with their immediate family household. We did provide another pass for an extended family, and we'll talk a little bit about where they will be parking because it will not be in the lower one. So they'll have that. This is mandated and set by Governor Inslee and Okanogan County Health Guidelines. So taking a look at the map, we have the extended parking lot, family parking lot up here. So this upper lot will have a screen so they can view the footage that's going on down below, so they can still watch the ceremony, although they won't be able to be there live. But this is the best that we can probably offer. So friends and community members, you are more than welcome to come and participate, with the understanding that there is limited space in this overflow parking lot right here that you can access from Central Drive here. We will open this up to friends and community members at 6:15, and we'll close it at 6:45 until the end of the ceremony. We will not have a screen available for viewing there, just because we don't have that many screens. But you'll be able to have access to our Wi-Fi and be able to have access to the live streaming on Facebook. So anybody, if you're attending this, please make sure that you stay in your vehicles. Some important details for our graduates. Rehearsals Friday, June 12th at 1 p.m. You'll come down to the football field, park in a parking spot, make sure that you stay in your vehicle, and park one space between you and another vehicle. On the day of graduation, you're going to need to arrive at 6:15, and again, that's Saturday, June 13th. Line up in your spots from rehearsal, and remember, stay in your vehicles. Some of the details regarding a rehearsal is, you're going to want to budget 2 hours, so from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. We're going to try to nail out all the details that you're going to need to know how to do regarding graduation. So make sure that you park in a spot with spaces between you and another vehicle again. We will close off the spaces that nobody will be able to park in. That is for your safety. That is for us to follow the guidelines. You will need to roll down your windows to wait for directions on the lining up for the ceremony. We'll be down there kind of orchestrating and trying to get everybody lined up. So please be listening on what we're doing. You'll be assigned a spot for both the procession and the ceremony. So these are key details that you're going to need to practice and know. We'll rehearse the lining up, procession, calling the names, and the final recession. Graduation day, again, June 13th, the ceremony starts at 7 p.m. Graduates, make sure that you have your cap and gown. You got to arrive at 6:15 so we can get you all lined up. The staff will be here kind of directing where you need to be. So help us out as much as you can with that. The procession will begin at 7 p.m. and that will follow the route, which starts on, again, we're going to be lining up in this area in the lower lot, and then we're going to start off. Our banners will be, honorary banner people will be leading kind of the procession route. We'll come down through. That way, this is where your extended family members get to see you. So make sure that you can wave at them, and they'll be honking, and they'll come through, and you'll be able to see some of the community members. And then we'll come back down on Civic Drive or Central Drive, and then turn back into Civic Way, and then come back and we'll line up. And again, graduates, this is where it's really critical for you to pay attention. We will have spots labeled for you so that you know exactly where you need to line up. You will, when your name is called, your group is called, you'll come line up and exit the vehicle, come out of the stage, get your stuff, do the graduation part of the ceremony. If you have a speech, this is the time that you make your speech. And then you get back in your vehicle, and then you come swing back around and line up. That way you can watch your other classmates graduate on through those screens too. Then we will exit using our procession route. And how we're doing that, we'll come back around and follow the same route as the procession route. So all family members, again, must remain in the vehicles at all times. We understand that you want to get out and be out on the stage and congratulate your kid. We get that. I understand that. I'm just going to ask that you help us keep everybody safe and stay in your vehicles. Your windows may be rolled down. Large screens will display the live footage in 3 locations. So the first location we have by the concession stand, indicated by that yellow X. And then a second location on the tennis courts located by the other X. And again, as I mentioned, another location will be up in that extended family parking lot. So we hope everybody enjoys the graduation. We've worked really hard on trying to make this possible. We have a company that's coming in to videotape and stream, and we're going to be recording all of this so it'll be available online, as well as being able to send out a copy of it to all of our graduates and their families. So yeah, we're trying to do the best that we can to make sure that this ceremony is honoring of our graduates for all the hard work that they've put into the last years of their school. And we understand that this is a major milestone for a lot of kids, and some kids it's the first graduate in the family. So we understand that this is not ideal, and we want to make sure that we are doing the best that we can to honor our kids as best as possible. So again, I hope everyone can get on board and support this. We're working really hard to try to make sure that we're falling within the guidelines that have been given to us, and trying to follow the restrictions from the phased approach, and trying to make sure that we're keeping everybody safe. And we understand that this coronavirus pandemic has really rocked the boat in a lot of ways, and we want to make sure that we're doing the best that we can to accommodate everyone as possible. We understand that we can't accommodate every single person and what they want and need, but we're trying to make sure that we can do the best we can with this. So you'll be able to access this PowerPoint slide. It'll be a PDF form. You'll be able to click on the link to go view some of those documents. Please do that so you can be in the know with that. If you have any questions, please reach out to the school, and we'll hopefully guide and direct you. Thank you very much, and have a great weekend.